Hi, welcome to today's episode of LAWBY podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about the right to safe food. Food safety is ideally one of the most important acts. The vast majority of the population consumes food outside their homes. Consumption of unsafe food could have a major impact on one's health. There are various cases of food poisoning that have led to death. Unsafe food not only causes immediate injury but also starts a vicious cycle of foodborne illness that can be fatal. A medical publication report stated that drinking tainted water and food causes nearly 2 million fatalities in India each year. In order to reduce the hazards of food contamination, government organization, food sector, and consumers must come together. The public's health and security of India's food supply depends on the ongoing effort in education, regulation, and enforcement. Therefore, it is essential that one must know their rights with regards to consumption of unsafe food. There are few acts introduced to safeguard the consumer's interest. The Food Safety and Standard Act 2006 is one of them. It was introduced to provide guidelines for food safety. This act unifies the laws governing food and creates the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. Now let's talk about few benefits of this act. Firstly, it helps setting standards. In India, the FSSAI is in charge of establishment requirements for food safety and quality. In order to ensure the safety of the food, these standards are frequently updated and based on international standards and scientific principles. Secondly, food safety surveillance. To make sure the food items and food businesses are in conformity with safety and quality requirements, FSSAI performs surveillance and monitoring of them. Testing of food samples and facilitating inspections fall under this category. Thirdly, it provides consumer awareness. FSSAI contributes to raising public knowledge of food safety issues and the value of making educated decisions when consuming and buying food. Lastly, penalties. Businesses that breach law governing food safety can be penalized by the FSSAI. Fines and license suspensions or cancellations are examples of penalties. Section 58 of this Act in particular states that any person who violates or opposes the rules and regulation as stated under the FSSAI Act is liable to a penalty that may extend up to 2 lakh rupees. Additionally, Section 62 states that there will be punishment for obstructing or impersonating a food safety officer. Now let's consider a case dealt under this Act. Maggi, a Nestlé product, was examined by the FSSAI in the case of Nestlé India Limited versus the FSSAI, and it was found that the noodles had excessive concentration of lead and monosodium glutamate. As a result, an appeal to Nestlé, the High Court of Mumbai issued the following ruling in the case of Nestlé India versus FSSAI after reviewing all of the recommendations. 5 samples of each batch in their custody were to be submitted to the approved labs, and if the result showed the lead in the permissible amount of 0.2%, only then the company will be permitted to start manufacturing process. Additionally, the FSS Act's clearance process for Maggi goods must be followed, and the business was told to remove the phrase "no added MSG" from the product label as they were misleading. Now, let's move on and look at the next act. This is the Consumer Protection Act 2019. The Consumer Protection Act provides quick and simple reimbursements for customer complaints. It protects the customers and encourages them to speak up against deficiencies and defects in products and services. This law safeguards consumers' rights if retailers and producers engage in unlawful activities. This forum's main goals are to help both parties and do away with drawn-out legal battles. Section 2 Clause 11, in particular, under this Act, defines deficiency as a fault, imperfection, or shortcoming in the quality of the services. Additionally, this Act creates Central Consumer Protection Authority, which is tasked with advancing, defending, and upholding the rights of all customers and is established under the Act. Consumer rights infraction may also be looked upon by the CCPA and required steps may be taken. To guarantee that customers have more robust rights and greater protection in the marketplace, the Consumer Protection Act 2019 was created. It emphasizes the need to swiftly resolve consumer complaints and stop unfair business practices. Customers are urged to exercise caution when it comes to their rights and to seek compensation if they felt they have been subjected to unfair treatment or got subpar goods or services. Now, let's talk about a case that was employed under this Act. This was the case of Yum Restaurant Private Limited versus Kishan Hegde. The complainant had ordered some food in the petitioner's restaurant for a sum of ₹382 on 23rd December 2014, served in an unhygienic way and was giving off a foul smell. Upon consuming the food, the complainant felt like vomiting. After consulting a doctor, he was diagnosed with food poisoning. A complaint was filed under the Consumer Protection Act against the restaurant. The District Forum awarded him with a compensation of ₹10,000, the cost of litigation ₹4,000, and also the cost of food. The same decision was upheld by the State Commission. Thereby, these are the two essential acts that a consumer must know before filing a complaint. Apart from this, the Tamil Nadu government has a web portal, namely the Tamil Nadu Food Safety Consumer App, which serves as an app where your complaints and grievances can be lodged. This enables you to file a complaint in the comfort of your home instead of having to go to courts. People are hesitant to file complaints earlier because of how tedious it can get having to go to courts. Such an app may make it easier for Tamil Nadu citizens to report food safety issues, receive information about food safety law, and keep up with food recalls and inspections. There are few benefits to this app. Users may immediately submit food safety issues to authorities, enabling them to look into and handle any threats and lower consumer health risks. With the use of the app, consumers and regulatory agencies may communicate directly, facilitating effective information sharing and cooperating in resolving food safety issues. This app, by providing users with real-time status updates and issuing distinctive reference numbers, the app speeds the complaint resolution process. As a result of seeing that their problems are being immediately handled, this increases the customer satisfaction. Additionally, this app provides material in several languages, including Tamil and English. Therefore, this app may be used effectively by a wide variety of users. This program uses crowdsourcing to uncover problems, which might lower the cost of monitoring and inspections of regulatory bodies. Overall, the Tea and Food Safety Consumer App has significantly increased consumer trust in Tamil Nadu's food supply chain, raised consumer knowledge of food safety issues, and lowered health risks. It serves as a link between the general public and the regulatory agencies, allowing for quicker reactions to food safety issues and eventually resulting in safer food consumption habits. In conclusion, we can say that at many levels, efforts are undertaken to reduce food contamination in India, including better sanitation and hygiene procedures, stronger food safety laws, raising consumer knowledge, and enhancing the enforcement of safety standards. By handling food safety and encouraging suppliers and manufacturers that put food safety first, consumers may also help protect their own health. Now we've come to the end of this podcast. That's it for today. Thank you for listening to us. Subscribe and support us. Stay tuned and stay lobbyfied.